Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Now, I follow quite a few chart analysts, and there's one chart analyst, one of many actually, who correctly predicted the rally that we saw when XRP this year went from the upper 20-cent region to almost, which started in November, of course, and ran up ultimately to almost 80 cents. And we've seen a little bit of retracement since then, obviously. But that analyst, at the same time, he actually predicted that we're going to see XRP all-time highs by summer of 2021. So, you're looking at roughly half a year from now. And I would not mind seeing that. If this guy's right, I would not mind it one bit. And he's also predicting that we're going to see XRP, based on market patterns and the way that he's analyzing the charts, he believes that by the end of year 2021, we will see XRP at $20 and $20 plus. And so it's when you're that far away, it seems like, no, it could never happen. Until it does happen, then it's like, oh yeah, it happened, of course. That's how it feels, right? Because I was there 3 years ago when XRP went from about 20 or so cents all the way up to almost $4. And if you had asked almost any human in crypto, they'd been like, no, that's impossible. It's just not happening. But it did. And that's how crypto behaves. When it goes, sometimes it really just goes. So I don't know if he's right or wrong, but I will say he's not the only one making these types of predictions. I'm following all sorts of analysts that are making predictions for roughly that time frame towards, end of year 2021, anywhere from $10 to $30. And these analysts that I follow, they weren't making these predictions for the last 3 years. It's a more recent development now that we're out of the bear market and they're reading that they got, new data in front of them as time has passed. And now they're like, yep, charts look like they're set up. And historically, of course, market cycles play out the way they do. And you can see this pattern over the last 10 to 12 years for the crypto asset class in general, of which XRP is a part, and XRP does follow Bitcoin. So I want to share with you the opinions from a couple chart analysts and, a broader not too in-depth, but a broader conversation about just the degree to which crypto is being invested in and growing tremendously as an asset class. But before we go further, I do want to note that I am not a financial advisor. I do not have a financial background of any kind, and so you should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I just think it's fun to talk about these types of topics relating to crypto for fun. I'm putting up YouTube videos on these topics as a hobby, but that is all that it is. I'm just as interested in it as you, but that doesn't mean I have some sort of special background. Just make sure everybody knows there's so many new subscribers coming on board. I feel it's the right thing to do to mention that, especially when talking about price. And also go ahead and subscribe if you've not yet done so, and consider hitting a thumbs up if you don't completely hate the content in this particular Moon Lambeau hot jam. Now, as I'm recording this, XRP is at 57.6 cents. Bitcoin is at $18,177. We've got the market cap at $544 billion, and Bitcoin dominance moving sideways for about half a month at this point. It's at 61.93%. And this shouldn't be surprising because that's about how long we've been in this consolidation phase, more or less. There's been a bit of volatility, but crypto is always volatile. So considering what we had seen in the weeks before that, that looks like nothing, because in a 30-day period, Bitcoin went from somewhere around like $10,000 or $11,000 to almost $20,000. And it's also kind of interesting. So I pulled up a 7-day chart here for XRP. And if you look where I'm circling right now, this is the most recent local low where XRP got down to, here it says 51 and a half cents. I think it did get down to 50 though. It's just the chart's not picking it up. But so let's say 50. I know it did. And so you can see it came back up, and then XRP's just kind of been trading sideways since it got a bit back up, right? Now, Bitcoin, while Bitcoin is the reason that XRP went down, you can see Bitcoin started going down, XRP followed, which is normal because XRP does just follow Bitcoin. What you've been seeing for most of the bear market, and this caught my attention, is just that, you'd see these instances where XRP and the rest of the altcoins tank with Bitcoin. But then when Bitcoin recovers, the altcoins don't recover necessarily, or they recover a little bit. And so what's interesting to me is I noted that we've been making on the charts since March for XRP, we've been making higher lows and higher highs, just that whole time period. So over half the year at this point, good 8 months or so, whatever it's been. And so given that's the trend that we've been on, it's just interesting to note that Bitcoin began correcting from its low, where right down here, so it was at 17,853. And XRP was at about 50 cents. Bitcoin did come back up, but then it went almost all the way back down. Whereas XRP, at least to this point, as I'm recording this, we'll see what happens. But to this point, XRP hasn't gone back down with Bitcoin. And so it's not that something like that hasn't happened before. I'm just telling you because I've been looking at this, and it's, I'm not pretending to be a chart guy. I'm definitely not, but I have been looking at charts for 3 years, and I'm just telling you that that's not common. And so when you consider that XRP has been in an upward trend since March, I guess we shouldn't be that weirded out by it, though. I mean, I'm not hating on it. I'm just saying. Here's a tweet from chart analyst Credible Crypto, who has 84,000 followers now. This guy's popularity is blowing up. And I didn't know what he's getting promoted, and I say rightfully so, in all sorts of crypto media now. And I was following him before the people were in, so I feel like I'm one of the ground floor cool kids, right? But here's what he wrote. I don't think I could have made it any more clear. We tried to tell them. And what was he talking about? Well, it was a retweet of this from May 17th. And he wrote the following. May 17th this year. We have finally entered my buy zone on XRP/BTC after months of waiting. This is the final stage of the correction, in my opinion. Safe longs on a reclaim of 2,400 sats, and then the bottom is likely in my opinion. And he was pretty well right, to be honest. You're talking about 20 cents. I mean, yeah, a little higher, a little lower since then, whatever. Bottom was pretty well in at that point. At that point, you're talking 20-cent XRP. And he was right. And he is one of the people that was predicting that there was going to be a rally just in the days leading up to right before it popped. He was right about that too. And so it's interesting to see what's going to happen. And he's one of the people, he's not the one I was citing at during the intro of my video, but he is one of the people that's calling for roughly $25 XRP coming up here. Throughout this market cycle. He's talking about that'd be the peak price, and of course there'd be a retracement after that, but man. And so then you can see this here, and this is interesting as well, because despite what I just cited a moment ago as far as XRP not retracing when Bitcoin did during the most recent little bout that I cited, this is interesting because XRP is still following Bitcoin, right? And so Bitcoin on the bottom, you can see this chart if you care to look. Bitcoin is on the bottom, and this is a chart prior to our breakout run to 19K. And then XRP on the top now. Do with this information what you will. And so I think what he's trying to indicate there is, we'll see what happens, but the charts look kind of similar, not surprisingly, because XRP follows Bitcoin. And it gets you thinking, is he trying to indicate perhaps that XRP is about to have its major move up sooner than later? Well, that would be in line with what the likes of blockchain backers talking about, because I can't remember the exact time frame, and I don't want to put my words in his mouth, but I think it was in the next couple months or so, perhaps as soon as that anyway, that he's saying you might see XRP upwards of $2. And so you can kind of get the gist of what these chart analysts are saying. They're not all that different, and that's why I just love to follow. I try to stay away from as much of the technical gobbledygook as possible, because I know the average person, and I'm one of the average people, I don't enjoy. I just want to know what the opinions are. And I saw that nobody else in the world of crypto, certainly not in the XRP community, was just putting videos together with multiple chart analysts. Just getting various opinions, and there's value to the chart analysts that run their own channels. So I'm nothing negative on that whatsoever. I value them, is what I'm saying, and then I just like to put them together in one video. And I can't put every single analyst I follow in every single video, so I just try and mix it up and just let you know when I spot trends amongst what they're saying. When there seems to be a consensus among what they're saying, then I just highlight that, and I think that there's value to that. But yeah, I try and stay away from as much of the technical speak as possible. And then, so take a look at this. This is who I was citing at the outset of the video. From Leb Crypto, thoughts on the XRP chart, emphasizing that it's long-term channel bound. And this was from September 24th this year. And he was calling for, and think about this, think about how low XRP was back then. My gosh, around, I didn't look it up, but it was probably still around 20 cents, right? It had been around there forever in that time range. And so he was saying 80 cents end of year. Well, we pretty well hit that already. So even if we don't get any higher before the end of the year, he's already right, which is interesting. And there were all sorts of, and you can think about DIY investing. Another chart analyst that I follow, he was calling for roughly $1 by the end of year, which actually could still get hit. But even if he's off and it's only close to 80 cents, the general direction and the general timing, it's not that different from analyst to analyst. And this is what keeps catching my attention. And then he wrote the following: so 80 cents end of year, revisit all-time high during summer 2021. Moon to $20 plus end of year 2021. And again, I keep seeing this from all of them, and I'm telling you, I don't think that they're saying this just for the hell of it, because first of all, I don't think they'd all coordinate the way that they are. They don't even all know each other exist necessarily, and they were not writing these things for the last 3 years. They really weren't. They were writing what they thought made sense in the moment. and now they're all saying this bullish stuff, and it happens to be when the market was genuinely about to lead up to notable bullish action, which has not been the case for most of the time that I've been in crypto, because I entered November 2017, so it's been interesting to see all of this. And I wanted to briefly highlight this. From You Today, Grayscale gained over 100,000 ETH in past 24 hours, acquired 1,276 Bitcoin yesterday. And so, one of the points that I'm going to hammer on for a good while probably is the degree to which Bitcoin and XRP are scarce and how important that is. And it's provably so, thanks to the decentralized nature of blockchain technology. Cryptocurrencies are freaking fantastic. So anyway, Grayscale founder and CEO Barry Silbert has retweeted several posts about the recent crypto acquisitions made by his company. According to data tables shared, over the past 24 hours, Grayscale Investments acquired 1,276 Bitcoin and over 100,000 Ethers. According to the data shared by Silbert, and then they go on to cite the date range there, so December 9th, and then the dollar amounts. It ends up being the case here that this is kind of funny. Peter Schiff. Right, overall, during the last week, the biggest Bitcoin buyer, as Peter Schiff referred to Grayscale recently, put a total of 13,232 Bitcoin into its crypto storage. And so that's worth $240 million. And I don't know how to reiterate strongly enough that this right now, this period in history, nothing like this has ever happened before, and it's likely not going to happen again. You can only have, technological revolution of this, to this degree for this particular type of use case, once. Like, that's it. Once the genie's out of the bottle, the genie's out of the bottle. And first of all, props to you for recognizing that there may be something to this whole crypto thing, because most of the people on the planet either don't know what crypto is, or even if they do, they haven't bothered to purchase or research it at all. And it's going to be a missed opportunity, I firmly believe, because if you think about it, I made a video about this the other day. If you think about the total supply of Bitcoin, 21 million max supply, and you think about several million being lost, and think about how institutions have snatched up almost all of the rest. I can't remember the exact numbers, but there may be at any given moment a couple million Bitcoin that you could potentially purchase. And this is with a fraction of the humans on the planet in the space. And so, given that there are institutions and whales that are going to hold for a very long time, I mean deep cold storage, as more people climb in, the supply and demand dynamics that take place in markets. I mean, they're going to do what you would expect with something like this. Demand is going to continue to pick up. Available supply at any given moment is continuing to decrease, and it's going to take off. And so even if we're just talking about Bitcoin on that particular point, XRP follows. And so XRP is also scarce. It is deflationary, and it's getting snatched up. And then just wait as market makers come in and utilize XRP. That XRP that needs to be available for on-demand liquidity it has to be held by somebody. And so that's going to be part of where this whole supply goes. And so that even just that right there, and that's utility driven, but that will affect the supply and demand dynamics for XRP additionally on top of it following Bitcoin. And so it's just amazing that we have this opportunity for those that are willing to pay attention and take a calculated risk. To me, it seems incredible. But I'll go ahead and wrap up there. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!